Greetings everyone and welcome. Today what we're going to be talking about are 3 principles to help us stay level-headed during stressful situations. This talk kind of came up. I was asked a question today by one of my coworkers. It was actually pertaining to what we talked about in my last video about when I was trying to bring some change at work. Trying to make it a little bit more efficient, better for us as providers and patients. I work as a paramedic. I'll add the link in the description below if you want to check out that video. But at the end of the day, I ended up being called a few names and nothing changed. So it struck me a little bit, and it kind of sucked. And so what my coworker had asked me was, how do you stay level-headed in a situation like that? Oh, I would have done this, I would have called them this or that or whatever. I didn't really have an answer for her, so it made me think about it a little bit, and what I was able to come up with was, the 3 principles. And, as I thought about it, I'm like, man, people have bad days at work all the time, and that's kind of what happened to me the other day. So what I did was I took these 3 principles and I applied them to my main job, which is I work as a firefighter paramedic, which is a highly stressed job. So what I ended up learning by doing that was that I was able to stay, level-headed because of these principles that were developed from the fire department. So from those high stress, situations, the calls, everything, I was able to develop these pretty much without knowing. I was kind of, as they say, baptism by fire. I was kind of just thrown into them and had to learn and adapt, and I ended up, learning them. So I want to share them with you. I really feel like there's something that, if you're able to understand where I'm coming from and apply them to your lives, I really feel like, you're just going to be able to move forward, more confident, more organized, structured, and get more results, from what you're putting your work in on. All right. So the first principle that we're going to talk about is to stay in your lane. Okay, and what I mean by that is it's so easy for us to get caught up in, in everything that's going on. A perfect example of this are the naysayers, or the haters, if you will. The people that are always going to hit you with all the possible, worst case scenarios. You shouldn't do this. Just stay in your comfort zone. Come on in. The water's great. Don't leave. And so, it's so easy to be like, what, you're right, let me just stay here. But if you just stay focused on what you're trying to work on and stay in your lane, all of that's going to fall on deaf ears, and you're going to be able to stay focused and move forward and accomplish great things. The other one that's really common with this is we get discouraged and sometimes even aggravated with other people because they don't have the same level of passion, commitment, discipline, whatever that we do. And so it's almost discouraging to us because we feel like, come on, let's rally together, let's do this. This is really good for change. And, like I said, just almost flip to what I said before, they want to stay in their comfort zone, and so they don't want to come out and come with you. They just want to stay there. So by staying in your lane, you don't worry about any of that stuff. You just stay focused. You keep moving forward and, get stuff done. All right. So the second principle that I learned, or that I realized, to stay level-headed in a stressful situation is to slow down. One of my teachers, he probably tells me this every time I talk with him. And, he preaches that when you slow down, everything is just clear. It's almost like trying to take a photo of something in motion. Something still, you're going to get a better picture than something in motion. Of course, you can have high-tech cameras and all that stuff. It's not what I'm getting at. I'm just saying something in motion, going frantic and all that stuff is going to be harder to really decipher what's going on. A good example with this, though, is if you have like a situation with like a coworker, like I did. If they come in and they are all excited and kind of loud and calling names, pointing fingers, doing anything like that, there's one of 2 things that's going to happen. You're either going to mirror their personality or they're going to mirror your personality. So if they come in, they're loud, finger pointing, calling names, and you mirror them, now you just have a bickering match. it's going to spread throughout wherever you work, or whoever, you know, if it's family, whatever, and it's eventually going to fizzle, and at the end of the day, nothing has changed. Or the other option is to slow down, let them mirror you, let them see how calm, cool, and collected you are. So then once you're calm, cool, and collected, you guys can have cordial, normal, adult conversations and move forward trying to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. Okay? So that's the second principle, and that's really probably to me the most important. It's so easy to, you know, get put into a situation and feel like the world's going crazy. It's just flying by you. You're in like a time warp. But the reality is, you know, society is always moving at its consistent pace, no matter what. It's, you know, us that put ourselves in different situations that then make it seem like it's going frantic. You know, if you're able to slow down, separate yourself for a second, you know, if you have to walk out of the room, if you have to take a couple deep breaths, count to 10, I mean, whatever it is that works for you, just, you know, slow yourself down so that you can realize society is still moving at this normal pace, and you have the option, you have the choice to go at that pace or to go frantic and act like, you know, the world's falling apart. And, you know, this has been so true for me. I've tried thinking that the hardest work will, you know, accomplish everything. And of course, hard work does accomplish a lot. But what I found myself over time doing was doing all this work, just anything I could find, just work. And I felt like I was in a drag race, just doing a burnout at the starting line, just doing all this work, just hard, you know, just going, but going absolutely nowhere. You gotta kind of, you know, feather the gas a little bit and just make yourself, or make your way down the track nice, calm, smooth, and steady. All right? The third and final principle that I have for you is to focus on the results. I've kind of been hitting on that the whole time. Results are everything. You know, if there are no results, then all we're really doing is talking. And I know that's kind of harsh, but I'm guilty of it myself. You know, it's human nature at times to tell ourselves, and it almost makes us feel like we did accomplish something sometimes when we say it. But the reality is, you know, if someone's writing stuff down, they're not writing down what you're saying, they're writing down what you're doing. Perfect example, you know, Michael Jordan, Mayweather, you know, these guys are great. They are followed by many because of their results, their championships, their records, whatever it is. Obviously, there's so many other things that go into it, the preparation, but at the end of the day, all that preparation, all of that talent, everything goes into the results. So if we can focus our mind on just staying focused on the results, the best thing for us to do in this situation is to envision or take ourselves all the way to the end. So when we are at the end and we know exactly what we want as best as possible, from there we can then work our way back to the present moment and do the work here and now, focusing on the little steps that we take all the way up to success. And you know, being able to apply these three principles, I promise you, you're going to be able to accomplish great things. You're capable of accomplishing great things. Sometimes it just takes a level head. All right, so my question to you to end this video is, how can you apply these principles to your life? And if you do, and you have a success story or even a non-success story, I want to hear about it. Add it in the comments below. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you like this channel, so much more of this is coming. Hit that subscribe button. And until next time, peace.